right, Mike Riley.
Thanks for having me back.
I was starting to worry that you were never going to come back.
No, I think this puts me ahead of Joseph.
I think it will.
He brought that up last podcast.
You know what? I just thought of this. I didn't offer you a water.
I could use a water, but we'll do it at a break.
Okay. Well, I'll get you a water anytime you're ready. Or we can just share this one if you want.
We could share that one. We could share that.
So good. I'm glad you came back out to the Holliswood Studios.
Yeah, I love it. Love the history of the Holliswood Productions, Holliswood Studios.
Oh, you listened to the Hollis Times 3 podcast?
It was my favorite podcast.
You think so?
Yes.
It was pretty funny.
I do. I'm just gonna call it out. I do need Joseph to stop using the C word. The C word.
The C word.
CUN.
Oh yeah. He needs to quit doing that.
I mean, maybe it's just me.
He did say a couple years ago that he was going to bring it back.
He did,
and he certainly has brought it back.
And that kind of justified it when he told me when he mentioned the reason why. I'm like, okay, I get that. I can appreciate that. But that without a doubt was my favorite podcast.
You know what's sad about that podcast is me and Joseph were talking about how like the production quality of this show is, is pretty decent considering it's like a low budget podcast, but I was going on about this program that I'm using. Oh yeah, it's great. So then we finished the podcast, and so we finish it, and I go back through, and I'm like, all right, let me export this and do all of the things that you got to do for it, and like it stopped recording like when we took the first break an hour in.
Oh, is that? Yeah, it was only 50 minutes on.
So it's, 50 minutes on YouTube, but that's why I do the backup audio on this thing, which proved to be useful. But I reached out to the people that do this program that I'm using here, and I was like, hey man, is there any way to like recover the files? And he showed me how to recover them. So I have all of the video files because it continued to record.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just the audio I can't get to sync up to it, but it's pretty funny because then people could see like when my idiot brother and son decided to do the smelling salts, which I have right here.
I was listening, and then I quickly pulled over the Target parking lot on White Bridge Road. I'm like, I have to find this video. And I vaguely remember Joseph saying that something happened.
Well, when we finish here, I'll show you the video of it so you can at least see what they look like, because Hayden had like drool and snot and everything like pouring out of his face, and Joseph's like, oh, you're gonna do it. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it next. You go ahead and go next. He's like, okay. He's had about 5,000 beers at that point, and he's like, okay. And both of them just go whoosh. And I'm like, no, you idiots. And Joseph like shot back.
That's what he told me. I'm like, I need to see the video.
He shot back across it. You want to smell it?
I'll take a little whiff.
Here,
I'm just curious.
You can smell. Well, hold on. Let me show the camera because it cut out before. It's the strongest smelling salt. And as soon as Hayden opened the bag, like I could smell it, but you can pull the thing out of there.
This is amazing. Hopefully you can find the clip and something can go viral.
Shake it up.
Something can go viral.
Yeah. I wouldn't get it too close.
I'm not going to.
You don't be stupid like them.
No, there. Oh my God.
You got it.
That's in one nostril.
Oh God, I smell it over here now. Close that back up.
Oh my God. That is amazing. I love that idea. I love that he brought this in to do this idea.
Oh God, I still smell it.
That's one nostril and it felt like it was burning.
Well, the reason that Hayden brought it in is because there's a bunch of clips of Joe Rogan and Theo Von doing them.
Yeah.
And it's funny watching those guys do it. But I'm telling you, man, it's
brilliant. It's a great, and it's a little gimmick, but I love the fact that he was thinking.
Yeah, he was like,
how do I get outside the box here?
Hayden says, I'm going to get you a viral clip. And he would have got a viral clip.
Well, hopefully, maybe, and you'll probably find out how to sync it up, but that would be hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I'm just happy that at least the full audio of it was captured, and it's on Apple Podcast and Spotify and all those things. If people out there want to check that out on YouTube. Yeah. It's got the first 50 minutes, which was good conversation in the first 50 minutes.
I thought it was great conversation. I thought it was, I told Caitlin after this, because I saw that she did one. I said, I figured out two things. That Tim is doing this for a midlife crisis,
Maybe.
which is fine. And Joseph's like the nicest person ever.
He is the nicest person ever.
And neither of you guys give yourselves credit.
Well, Joseph gets a little unruly after he's had a few beers.
He gets a little unruly after a few beers.
And then when him and Daniel are here, they're very unruly.
Yeah, that's another topic. But I genuinely appreciate the conversation that you're having. And I just started the most recent one with I think Jack and Caitlin and James.
Yeah, it was James, Kimmy. I'm gonna tell you something, and I'd never tell her this to her face, and I know she doesn't listen to this anyway, so she'll never hear this. But she's pretty good on here.
Yeah,
and she's you'll hear it on there. She's more wisdomous than you would think.
Okay,
but she's got a lot of good info.
That's what I think I like about this podcast the most, because it's not what you expect. And now, granted, we've known each other for 12 years.
Yeah.
And you're kind of seeing a different side of you and the family, right? I know you guys have gone through a lot with it, and you can joke about it, but there's like deep conversations that come out of the podcast.
Yeah.
And it for me, it drags me in. I'm like, this is amazing. Who would have known?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that.
I think it's great. I also think that you would not have a problem doing a podcast on your own, just talking about topics.
Doing a solo one, yeah. I might do one someday.
Just to try it.
Yeah, I mean, try it. You got to practice it. There really is an art to keeping the conversation going with yourself. You know, even when you're watching like a YouTube video of, you know, how to put whatever together, or you know, just or if you're reading on how to do something and the person's sitting there doing it. I mean, there's a lot that goes into doing all that.
Totally, and it's a confidence thing. But you know, you get to, what is it, 7? This is 8. This will be 18 or 19.
This is 18.
This will be 18. You build them up by, you know, you have a little bit of confidence here, and I think you'll be doing them.
Yeah, well,
it's a great release. I'm proud of you, but I'm also jealous because, man, I wish I could have.
Well, you're welcome.
The drive.
You're welcome to do it too.
That's why I always want to come back.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. I do have an announcement to make for you.
Let's hear it.
You're hearing it here first.
Okay.
I was going to save this to tell you the other day. We are at 100 followers on YouTube.
Let's go.
But today, one more, so we're at 101.
101.
Yeah, man, 101.
Hey, come on now.
We're making numbers.
Numbies are big. Numbers are big.
Numbers are big. I mean, the conversations that, like, even if you don't listen, because the Hollis Times 3 was a long one.
That was long. Almost 2 hours, yes.
No, it was like almost 3 hours.
Was it that long?
It was pretty long.
I mean, that's, again, a testament to how good it was, because I lost total track of.
It's almost 3 hours long, but within all of that, there's like a lot of good nuggets, a lot of clips
100%.
coming out of it. But I worry about posting too much of it because I don't want people to get tired of seeing it.
No, I think you have to post. I think that's the one thing that you have to not get away from doing, because you want people to see it. I don't know how much you can post about the Trump burgers, you know, if there's any, you know, NDAs for all that stuff and information behind that, but
I posted one.
I think you need to do it.
I posted one clip about the Trump burgers and the Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff, and you know, like there's like all these thumbs downs, and you know, because it's like it's political.
Yeah, well, it's political, but it's not political. I mean, it's a cool experience.
I learned more from Hayden about the Bitcoin stuff.
Who would have known?
I had no idea.
Zero idea.
But apparently that bar out there does the, you know, you can pay by Bitcoin.
Well, he mentioned he has like a fraction of a percentage, but if Bitcoin is trading at like $100,000 and he has like a fraction, he's got to have a little bit of money behind it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I didn't want to do the math because I was driving, but
yeah,
not bad.
It's a lot. Well, thank you for listening to it.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. That's why I texted you when the one with Kimmy and Caitlin and Jack and James came out at like 1:08 in the morning. I'm like, this is off my schedule.
Yeah. Well, the way that one came up is we were all out here because it was Jack's graduation party, and you know, the kids were out there. You can probably hear it in the background when you listen to it. Like the kids are in the pool, nice. Having a good time, and you know, we just kind of off the cuff. So let's turn it on, and we turned it on and people were kind of cycling in and out of here. And I was like, maybe I'll get a couple clips out of this.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to like post a full episode on it, but then I watched it back and I was like, some of this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Kimmy's pretty good.
Kimmy is pretty good. I told Caitlin that she and I need to do one because I was surprised that when I saw her name pop up, because y'all said that she never listens.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why don't you and I just jump on and do one?
I didn't know if she listened to it or not. And honestly, I was surprised she even came on here. She was willing to do it too.
Yeah, no, there was all good. Hayden was fantastic to hear. 40, soon to be 49, but I mean, to hear what these kids are doing in New York, he doesn't need a car.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a car because then you have to pay insurance.
Yeah, tell him, Hayden, you don't need a car.
I texted you. I'm like, he just needs to do Turo
Yeah.
and rent a car for a day.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And then you don't have to worry about the insurance. You pay $100 for the cheap insurance, and you go drive to clear your mind. Go down to the beach. Who knows?
That's actually a good option. Actually, Hayden and I, he leaves on Monday. We're going to do one with just me and him before he leaves. And so I'll tell him that he needs to do that.
You know, they have to be all over the place in New York.
Yeah.
You know, then he can get a cool car, convertible, whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for listening to it. And, you know, you're like the regular here, but
I love being the regular. When Joseph said that he was ahead of me now, I'm like, nope.
I was a little disappointed that the Two Sad Dads thing didn't work out a few weeks ago, which that was what killed us last time. That we never would.
It's hard to get 4 people together. That was a difficult one.
I agree. And driving out to Fairview.
No, that day was, you know, we had that big proposal due. I just didn't know when we were going to get it done. Well,
maybe we just need to set another date because that episode was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was a good one. But we do need to reconfigure the sitting situation.
Yeah, Daniel and Joseph don't need to sit next to each other.
No, we need to put Daniel here and Joseph over there.
We can talk about them without them butting into this conversation and wonder why they can't get along with each other. Without them both having their opinions of why they can't get along with each other. But they can't.
No, it's funny. It's funny.
All right, so
what do we got?
So what's been going on with you lately? I got a couple things here that I wrote down because I didn't want to forget, but we need to talk about your little emergency thing a few weeks ago.
Kidney stones.
I had no idea. They said that you were being, taken to the hospital by ambulance. And I thought you were having a heart attack or something.
I've never missed a meeting, and we were supposed to meet at the Nashville State that morning. So I stayed home I didn't want to drive in the office just to turn around and come back. So I'm like, I just felt weird.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, I ate Mexican the nights before, just maybe got upset stomach. I'm driving. I get to the split in Belmead, and I had to pull over. I pulled over at the Sportsman's Grill, pulled in their parking lot, got out. I was sweating so much that I was sweating through my work polo.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, this is really weird. Pain in my side here, my right side, into my kidneys. I'm thinking I'm going to lose my kidney or something.
Yeah.
Get out and throw up. I'm like sheet white, like buckled over in pain, doubled over in pain. I don't know the word in there. I made it back to my house. When I got home, I was able to wring my shirt out. I was sweating so much.
So you went from the Sportsman Grill, turned around.
I'm like, I'll just go home and sleep it off. Texted Pat, texted Daniel because Daniel and I were supposed to get on a call. I'm like, listen, guys, there's something wrong. I'm going home. They were super supportive. Just, let us know. I got home and felt so bad that I texted Kate at school and told her, I'm like, I never complain about anything, right? I don't see the point of it. There's something wrong. So she, in the middle of testing, comes home and thinks that I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah.
But I was watching my heart rate on my Whoop band, and I knew I wasn't having a heart attack, but I had myself convinced that I was going to lose my kidneys or was having something wrong. Like,
did it feel like where your kidneys are?
It felt like I was getting stabbed and I don't have my appendix. So my appendix ruptured 1999, June 25th, 1999, in between Zanesville, Ohio and Columbus, Ohio. From Zanesville to Columbus, maybe, I don't know how many miles. Every exit I got up, threw up, pulled into a Night's Inn in Columbus, and called an ambulance, and they took me to the Columbus hospital. Told me I had the flu. Had to drive back to Pittsburgh the next day. Eventually spent 8 days in the hospital with no appendix. But that pain didn't even compare to what
From
the kidney stone.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was so bad.
I haven't had either, knock on wood.
Knock on wood. I've got a small one on my left side. It's all because your diet, calcium, too much, soft drinks, stuff like that. It's just poor diet can cause it. But it was the worst thing ever.
Well, you were.
And I'm never sick.
I was going to say, you're never sick and everybody's worried about you. I just thought that maybe you're just under the weather. And then Daniel told us that you were being taken to the hospital, so nobody knew what was going on.
No, I'm still waiting for that bill from the for the ambulance ride to the hospital. I can only imagine what it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be something insane. But on a more positive note, what I wanted to kind of talk about was I came from the chiropractor I go to.
Okay.
So we go, the kidney stones I do need to change my diet, which will help lose some weight. But, as I think we talked about on our first podcast about our ankles, this going to the chiropractor and working with the chiropractor has been
really
like a godsend.
Does it make you feel better after you leave?
Makes me feel better. I've got more mobility in my ankle now, just from slight movements. I really think you need to give this guy a shot.
I might need to. I told Nikki the other day that like my feet have been hurting more than they have in a while. I don't ever know if it's like diet, and so I'm trying to is it something that I'm eating that's making the inflammation, or
it could be
what's going on with it, because it's not like if I change my diet for like a week and then it feels better. It goes like through these stretches of like 3 months. It's just like can barely walk, hurts, and then like I get like a couple months of relief.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the weather or what it is.
It could be, and your injury is much more extreme than mine. But weight does bone on the bones. In your case, rods and pins and screws and.
Yeah.
Who knows what else in there. But
I mean, you check that guy out.
I genuinely think, as a friend, that you should give it a shot just to work on the mobility. That's all it was.
Yeah, I was going to say the mobility is the hardest part.
It's the hardest part because you can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
But when somebody else is manipulating, they work on my Achilles. He works on the bottom of my feet. But it's made a night and day difference.
Well, that's good.
Something you should consider.
Because usually you're pretty miserable.
Absolutely.
Just being in pain all the time.
When you're in pain and you can't do the stuff that you're so used to doing, even just walking out to the pool being a pain in the ass, coming down the steps.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's an awful feeling. So, I think it's something you should look into.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. You'll have to give me that guy's number.
I absolutely will. He's a cool guy too. Kids play baseball. He's from Northern California. He's my new life coach.
Your new life coach. Yeah. Well, good. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, champ.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's a good day. Nice weather.
Yeah. So tell me about you went on vacation for your Memorial Day weekend.
We went down to Smith Lake.
How was it? Did you have a good time?
It was nice. Weather wasn't so hot. Saturday it rained, but we rented a little pontoon boat for a couple days with some family friends that we've been going down there for years. It's gotten much more expensive. You now have to rent the boat for 2 days. And it cost us nearly $1,000 to rent the boat. And Saturday was almost a wash because of the rain. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Do you get it for the full 2 days?
Yeah, full 2 days. The guy delivered it Friday afternoon. We got there about 4. The boat pulled up about 4:15. And he came and picked it up on Sunday at 4:15.
That's good.
So we had some good times on it. It's Smith Lake is awesome too.
I've never been there before.
It's 2.5 hours from here.
That's not too bad. Where at?
It's in between Huntsville and Birmingham. You get it off at kind of Coleman, Alabama. Airbnbs are still pretty reasonable for you guys, for you and Nikki, just to kind of get away. It's a quick little. You don't have to go down to Destin. You don't have to go down to Panama City. You can go there and sit on the porch or sit on the little dock and just
do nothing.
Do nothing.
That's what I need to do. I need at least a few days of doing nothing, because even when we go to Florida or something, we're only there for a few days, and it takes you.
The drive is a pain in the butt.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, Kate makes fun of me because I get down there and like half the time I'm like falling asleep just sitting around, because you kind of are able to relax.
Yeah. That's the biggest problem that I have in my life right now is I can't relax.
Well, I think you saw some of the pictures I shared about.
I wasn't going to mention them if you weren't going to mention them, but there are some new classic Mike Riley pictures.
Our friends Christian and Wayne. Christian bought these wigs for us to wear to kind of embarrass the kids, and I fell in love with my wig.
You should have worn it on here.
I should have worn it. I loved it so much. She was going to return it. I'm like, no, I want to buy this off you. So it's sitting in my closet.
You know what? I think that the picture for this episode might be that picture.
I would be fine with that.
Okay. I'm going to do it then.
I would be fine with it. It came with glasses. It came with a gold chain. It was fantastic.
Because I don't have it where we can pull it up here right now. So what I'll do is I'm going to set it as the episode picture.
I hope so. Yeah, we had a big old time that Friday night doing that. I just felt, it was nice to have cool hair.
Yeah.
Kind of fit.
You felt good?
I felt good about it.
Did you like wrap it behind your ears?
I kind of kept combing it over.
Did you do like the kids do where they do this
absolutely.
all the time?
I got a video of that. I won't share that part because it kind of looks kind of silly. But I think Wayne or Kate called me a male Karen because I look like a Karen.
You did. That picture I ought to say episode 18, male Karen.
Yeah, Mike the male Karen.
Mike the male Karen.
I did wear the chain and the sunglasses home. So when we walked around Buc-ee's, because we stopped at Buc-ee's for lunch.
What do they call it? Boosie's?
Boosie's.
When you walked around Boosie's.
The busiest place in the world.
Yeah.
They got a great fried chicken sandwich.
That place is nuts, man. It's like sensory overload.
Totally.
It's like I've been there several times, and every time I go in there, I'm still like, my eyes can't look at all of the things all at once.
I go to one area. I haven't even seen half of the. I've only seen a quarter of the place. I go in, use the bathroom, go get my chicken sandwich, and then wait for my family to go check out.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, even when you're going to pick out something to eat, you're like, ooh, I want that. Yeah. And then you're like, ooh, I want that. I want that. And it's like, you have to decide.
Yeah, that's true. I know what I want. I bought one and had it for lunch on Tuesday. I brought one back and had it for lunch on Tuesday. But they've got the great chips. They got tater tots now, burritos.
There should be Boosie's on every corner.
Should be. I think there's a Boosie's coming in Murfreesboro. When
is it?
When it gets open, we make a trip.
I know that's worth the trip because they got a lot of cool stuff in there. Other than
do a remote podcast from there,
out in the parking lot, maybe next to their little Boosie statue.
don't mind us.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I love that place. It is a gold mine.
Yeah.
I mean, there was probably 10,000 people in this place.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you get if you do the car wash, you get gas for pretty much $1.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like a no-brainer.
There's like 5 million gas pumps there too.
It's too many.
Yeah.
Too many. It takes like 10 minutes just to get out of the place, but I enjoy it. It's a good place to stop.
Well, that could have been your vacation alone. It's just going to go to Buc-ee's.
Well, I love the sandwich so much. I'm like, okay, can I drive an hour and 15 minutes to get a sandwich? But we may have found a better place. Joseph and I had a better chicken sandwich. Joseph and I went to this Wabash restaurant in Nolensville.
What is it?
It's called Wabash Restaurant. It's right through the downtown square in Nolensville, and it was unbelievable.
Is it like a sit-down place or like a fast food?
A little local place. Joseph got a Nashville hot chicken sandwich. I got chicken tenders. It was awesome.
How come you didn't invite me to that?
We hate you.
That's fine. I'm not too happy with myself either. No, that's good.
We gotta try it out because I think we were trying to get Daniel to go, but because we were looking at a property down there, and I needed help with some irrigation. I'm like, here, if you go, I'll buy your lunch.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So, I was actually reading this morning because we've talked about this stuff before. The WWDC, the Apple event's coming up here in about a week or two.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with all that? Anything good?
I honestly haven't been following much of it. Interesting with all the tariffs and, the costs of these new phones are going to be, you probably know more of it, but I assume they're going to do stuff with the AI functionality of.
Yeah, they're supposed to beef all the AI up.
Yeah.
I think that they're changing the user interface. They haven't changed that since, I think, 2013.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time, so it's due for a refresh, but I think they're going to go more like what the Vision Pro has. They're like the circle icons, and it'll be more like that. But
it doesn't seem like it's been as, and maybe I haven't been following it, as advertised as much as it has in the past couple of years.
I know. I didn't even realize that they had announced the date until I just happened to fall upon it. Usually, like, I'm getting alerts about that kind of stuff.
Usually, yeah, you and I, well, we don't see each other as much now that I've moved my office. But, yeah, I mean, I was the same way. I think it was like 2 days ago that I saw something come across on X, Twitter, about it.
Yeah.
So it's a little disappointing. I got to read up on it to see what is going to happen from it.
I just don't know where we go from here with like phones and stuff to where it's going to be just like this bombshell new thing that it can do. I mean, it's like it's the same form factor. It's, you know, I'm just wondering when they're going to like make the move to the glasses and all that kind of stuff.
No, you're right. They probably will. I think they're going to improve the camera, I think, is one thing I saw too. But you're right. What else do you do?
I mean, funny enough, like I record this podcast with 2 iPhones.
Yeah.
And if there's more people here, 4 iPhones.
What was the movie that they filmed in all just by using iPhones years ago?
I don't remember, but I remember they filmed a whole movie with it.
Yeah.
But the thing is these phones, you know, the phones that I'm using here, one is the one that I carry in my pocket, and the other one is just the one that I had before that when I upgraded. And so you've got 4K cameras in your pocket.
Sure.
So there's no need for any of the other ones. I've been kind of toying around with maybe testing some different cameras and stuff. But honestly, like I bought one, and I'm probably going to send it back because these phones are perfectly fine.
Yeah, and they're compact. They're easy to set up.
Yeah.
And why change it? A quarter of us probably don't even know how to use the phones to their full capability.
Yeah, I mean, most of us don't. I mean, they do so many things. There's so much technology in just in your pocket, you know. Right. Their computing speeds and all that kind of stuff. With the AI, with the Apple Intelligence type stuff, it has to have like a lot of, you know, power to do it. That's why they can only do it on I guess they do it on the 15s and 16s.
15 Pro.
Yeah,
the girls don't have. They've got 15s. They don't have it. 15 Pro and now 16. Yeah.
You know, I got Jack because his phone was messed up and kind of got him a new one for graduation and all that. But I bought him the 16E. It's like the new bottom line Apple phone to replace the SE, and it's awesome.
Right? Does it have all the Siri and
it's
AI
got
stuff?
Yeah, it's the baseline model now, and it's got like all the AI and you know, the camera's not like the 3-camera system, but still, normal people like me and you, it's like who cares about that?
I did use my personal phone to take a picture of a job site this morning because I knew it was going to be a better picture. Yeah. Because I had to send to Allison, but because you can make it look a little more clear than I think we have 11s.
Well, you have an 11. Get with me on Monday, and I can get you a better one.
Okay, I'll do it. Speaking of Jack, I didn't know he also graduated from Columbia State too.
Yeah,
How do you do that?
He did a mechatronics.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like I noticed it a few years ago. I went to one of my niece's graduations, and they were announcing such and such is graduating from Columbia. I was like, what the hell is that?
Right.
And then Jack's been in that program for the past several years.
So does he take extra classes during the day, or is
it's just part of his curriculum?
Way.
Yeah, it's just
smart.
I don't know exactly what it is, but it's some kind of technological thing.
Really,
some technology based. But it's funny because he graduated on Friday.
Yep.
And then started at LSI on Tuesday.
How's he working?
Yeah, so he's working with us. And it's been kind of fun.
Is he down in Franklin?
He's down in Franklin.
Okay.
And he gets home at like 6 or 6:30 and like immediately goes to bed.
He's wiped out.
Because he's not used to it.
No, it's tough.
It's hard. It's hard work.
And it's not even that bad right now. I mean, today is like the best day ever.
Well, this has been like the longest lasting spring ever.
Yeah, it's the 5th wettest May on record.
Yeah.
We haven't hit 90 yet.
For the people that don't know, we work for a landscape company here in town, and Jack is he's 18, so he can't drive.
Okay.
You have to be 21 to drive there. And honestly, if him wanting to build his way up, let's just say in LSI, if he wants to do that, I like the fact that he cannot do anything but the worker bee stuff for 3 years.
It's, I mean,
because it's going to build his
good experience.
Yeah, it's going to build his character and understanding of, it's like when you're weed eating all day, it's just up and down, up and down, up and down, and that's what he's doing. He's getting a good workout from it.
Does he listen to music when he does it?
I don't know. I haven't asked him about that, but he was. It's funny because he was. He had a sandwich that his girlfriend made for him. He was eating lunch, and I said, "What are you having for lunch?" He said, "A sandwich that Zephyr made." I was like, "Oh, that's good." And then 2 hours later, Elias comes in, and he's like, "Hey, look, the guy sent me a picture of your boy," and he shows me, and he's like putting a taco together out in the grass, like whenever you're there and you're with all the Hispanic group and everything, they usually got like a little propane eye, and they're like cooking their tortillas and stuff in the corner of the parking lot.
Cool.
Somewhere.
They included them though.
I know. I thought it was really cool that hey, you don't want that cold sandwich? Come over here and eat this.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's a good group up there. I think he'll like that. I think they'll like that. Is he working with Greg's son?
No, he's not working with Greg's son, but yeah, it's cool it's cool that Greg is a friend of ours that worked with us, and he passed away in 2020, 2019?
I think it was 2019. I think it was, it all runs together, but I think it was pre-COVID.
Yeah, he had a heart attack and he passed away pretty much immediately, and his son was really young, but then his wife reached out to me to see if we were hiring because his son is 19 now, so he works up there.
Greg was awesome. I'm still, I think I told you when you told me that his son was working that I still have, the Friday before he passed, I had to go get irrigation flags from him.
Oh, yeah.
And I've switched trucks, twice, but I kept one flag. I'm like, I can't give you, I've used the other three, but I kept one flag just kind of as a memorial to, it just sits in my back of my truck.
Greg was just one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet.
The reason we do morning hugs.
It is. We do have morning hugs every morning.
Yeah.
You work at a different office now.
I know.
But we do catch up.
We have to. We do. But yeah, Greg was just a great personality.
Yeah, friendly guy. I'm glad to see that Si's here with us now, and hopefully he likes it.
No, hopefully. I mean, that is a good branch. I'll be curious to see what I'll have to find out what jobs he's working on.
It's probably beating his ass like it's beating Jack's. It's just a lot of work.
It's not easy work, but it'll get you in shape real quick.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, what else you got going on? Been watching all the news with this whole immigration thing going on here in Nashville.
We had I came from a luncheon and that was brought up. Not to get political, but the question is it going to be detrimental that now Nashville's been labeled a sanctuary city, and probably will. Now we'll be under the microscope of the federal government, right and wrong.
I mean, I don't mind talking about that stuff at all. I like all these people.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with anybody coming into the country.
Agree.
At all. But you need to come in legally. And if you're here illegally, then you've already broken the law.
Yeah.
And people will get so bent out of shape about that. And the reality of all that is like, if you break the law, then you get in trouble.
Well, I don't think there's enough education behind. We work with some amazing individuals have come here, taken the time to go through all the processes to become, legal, had kids and got married. And, I know a few people that are here illegally, not doing anything other than trying to make a living, but I don't know if they have the knowledge of what they need to do to not have to worry about going out to the gas station and thinking people are going to come arrest you.
Well, even the people that are legal are all worried about all that stuff. I'm like, why? I mean, I get it. I understand that, but you have your paperwork.
That's right.
So it shouldn't matter.
It's a stress that you and I will never understand.
Yeah, you're right. I just try to look at things in black and white. It's like, and I know a lot of people, I mean, at our company, we have E-Verify, so we don't really have anybody these days that are illegally, but I know that they got a lot of friends and everything else, but it's like if I'm a legal person, went through paid the money, took the test, did all the things, became a citizen, I would be mad that these other people are just over here doing whatever.
Yeah. And when the majority of them are just trying to make a living. I mean, just like COVID was a political weapon. I mean, it's a political weapon and our issue with this country is that we can't figure out how to live together.
Yeah. I think it's probably the world.
It's probably the world, but what we see is what I think is going to be our downfall is the fact that we can't coexist.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's
nuts because it affects everybody. It affects, our labor. It affects, restaurants. It affects, they've closed multiple restaurants and fast food places in Bellevue because they can't find people to work.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could go get a job over there.
I thought about it.
You could look good in a McDonald's hat.
I thought about a little side hustle.
Yeah. You could work at a Mexican restaurant. You roll up on the table and be like, "Hola."
I'll spin the little thing on the birthdays.
You just wear the sombrero, and that just have the whipped cream like all over your face anyway. Just go around giving out.
Well,
chips.
I told Shane opened his restaurant Cletus, and I told him, I said, "Listen, if you need any help, all I need is a hamburger. Just give me a hamburger. I'll come up and run stuff out and talk to people."
Yeah.
Kind of something different to.
Yeah, it's fun.
On the weekends, so you're not just sitting around, bumming around, doing nothing.
I enjoyed my time in the food industry. Interestingly enough, when I first started working at LSI, I was making like $13 an hour. This was years and years and years ago. And it's like, it's hard to support a family of 5 on $13 an hour. So I was working part-time with Nikki's cousin, Pat, at Jets over there in Bellevue.
Okay. I thought you were down at the pizza place in Franklin.
I was at Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah.
That was before I came to LSI.
Okay.
So I was working part-time when I was working at LSI. I was working part-time at Jets.
Oh, okay.
With Pat. And here we are all these years later, and Pat actually bought that location.
Is that right?
So I told Nikki, I was like,
one down in off 100?
Yeah, right by Tito's there.
I love it.
I was like, maybe we need to go get in the family business.
Totally.
I'll go work part-time, dude.
I've probably talked to him a number of times because Jets is some of my favorite pizza.
Yeah. But
and the poor guy's in there just by himself.
Maybe. We had a lot of fun back then when we worked because I'd come from Mellow Mushroom, so I knew how to. Well, I work pizza. I tell people that I know pizzas and I know landscaping.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of work on pizzas, but we'd always see who could throw the dough the best.
Nice.
And all that, and so that was
nice.
A lot of fun. I am a master pizza maker.
I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could spin it.
There's an art to it.
It has to be.
You have to practice with a rag.
Sure. Oh, do you?
That's what I practice with.
Okay. I may have to practice tonight. I feel like if I try to throw the pizza, it would just kind of twist.
It may. It's kind of like you take it and you throw
I'm going to try tonight.
You need to try that with They make fake pizza dough so you can practice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Pat would get in there and he'd be throwing that thing and he'd throwing it down.
No
his
way,
back.
like rolling it?
Rolling.
Come on.
Yeah,
what a legend.
You can do stuff like that when you're badass on a pizza line.
You know how to make pizza. And I used to make popcorn managing a movie theater.
Well, you can
what are we doing with ourselves?
I know. For Jack's graduation party on Sunday, I made 9 14-inch pizzas and like 7 or 8 small personal pizzas.
No way.
Yeah, man.
Where'd you make them?
I made them here in my house.
In the oven or on the Blackstone?
Well, I did the small ones. I smoked them on the smoker.
Okay, I've
tried
that.
Now, I do have a Thanksgiving oven. The reason I call it a Thanksgiving oven because there's 2 ovens on it.
Okay.
So I had both of those ovens going, and then I had the smoker going, and I was just cranking them out.
Nice.
But I pre-made them all like earlier in the day and then started cooking them.
You get a lot done on the weekends.
No. Nikki's listening to that right now laughing because I'm sitting in that chair right there.
Well, it seems like it.
Doing absolutely nothing.
It seems that
was just because it was one birthday party or graduation party.
Yeah. That's a big deal. That was another part of the last conversation that you guys had was you're transitioning to kind of another part of your life with the boys kind of
Yeah, they're all older now.
All older, right?
Yeah.
Technically could move out. Maybe Jack stays. Who knows? But
Well, you are too. I mean,
Yeah.
Jane's in the line. What?
she's got 2 more years.
She got 2 more years.
The thing you said about Hayden and what he said about you, about being a great father, and that you supported his, dream to go to New York and kind of make it. You probably were a little reluctant and hesitant because you're sending off your kid, but I thought that was a great part of the podcast. It resonates as a parent to hear a parent side, and then to have a mature kid.
You listened to the whole podcast.
I listened to the entire thing.
He was good at first, but again, after you start having some beers and then
He lost his train of thought a couple times.
smoking cigars in here, which still smells like a cigar.
I need to figure out what a $30 cigar looks like.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I told them, I said, I sent Joseph and Hayden. I said, y'all just get some cigars. Don't get anything, don't get like a $2 one.
Right.
But like,
Tastes like crap.
I figured with Joseph, he'd be like, oh, well, let's just do something modest and get these $10 cigars. No, $30 a piece.
Were they good?
Yeah, it was fantastic, but it would have been. I would have spent $30 on a cigar for me.
Sure.
But it's like all on my dime. It's like
I don't know. I think that made the entire part. I thought that made part of made the podcast, that you guys going through all that. It's funny to listen to you guys. That's why I told Caitlin I think this is a midlife crisis, but it's fine. I don't mean that in a negative way.
No, I don't take it as a negative way.
You need an outlet. We as parents who are kind of progressing with our kids, moving on with their lives, we've put them in the position to be successful. I mean, we have to find some hobbies.
Yeah.
Right? Because it would be easy enough just to sit in a chair and watch TV.
I was doing that way too much.
Right.
And I don't know if I apologize if I repeat the same things over and over, but I was just thinking about like, when I was younger, I was like 17, 18, 19, all the way up till I was 21. I was like, my only future is I'm going to play this guitar in a rock band.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought that all the way up until I was 21.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not gonna ever happen.
No, because we take paths in our lives, right? But I still think that, if Hayden wants to take that song, what song was it? Squid?
Yeah, Squid.
And re-release it? Let him do it. Let him work with it and see what he could do.
Well, it's like I was saying before. This Fairy Dust song that I play here on the podcast has had more listens than it has in 20 years since it's been written.
But it took 25 years for someone to kind of figure out that, hey, this is out there.
Yeah.
Let them see what happens. Who knows?
I used to play music, and I think I was writing this because I was trying to write like a blog to put on my website. I was writing about how like, I thought my outlet back then was like writing music and doing all that. But at this point, I don't really know if I even really like doing that. Mm-hmm. It's like I wrote some good songs, and me and my friend Jeremy wrote some great songs, but like I don't really play because I don't have like the passion for it.
Yeah, and maybe find it. Maybe this is the avenue, and this is artistic, and even though you're just talking,
I'm like when you said this is artistic, I'm picturing like Hayden and Joseph like snot coming out of their face from smelling these stupid.
But in its own perspective, it is because it's an avenue of creativity. That's the better word to use. It's an avenue of creativity that you clearly had in you.
Well, I see a lot of people that I went to high school with and stuff on Facebook, like like liking the stuff that I post and all that. And it's like I haven't talked to those people in like more than 25 years. And so for me, and I never post on any social media. So like, I'm looking at it from their perspective. Like I've not existed for all these years. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's just
pops back up.
It's just so much shit on there.
Yeah. He's like a magician. A couple of things that I thought was, it's the Fairview social, maybe some gimmicks, again, not the right word, is a little piece of a history about this is a little bit of history about Fairview here. This is a little talking point. Maybe that's what you do as your solo.
Yeah.
But I think you have a really good perspective on a lot of things that people, once it kind of gets going and hitting 101. I mean, maybe it takes half the time to get to 201.
Maybe we'll see. But we've only been doing it since March. So.
Only doing it since March. You build some more people that you may or may not know. getting in there, and the ones that were kind of repeating, having guests, it's just building the confidence for you to know what you're doing as a host, which is the hardest part.
Yeah, I want to fill in gaps with like solo ones and do that kind of stuff. And I don't know, there's so many things that I have to talk about. It's funny because like, and you know this from, you don't get like this book of like how to be a father and doing all the things and how do you handle this specific situation. And I'll handle something way different than you'll handle it, or someone else will handle it. And it's like, I don't know if my way's better than any other way. But what I do know is I've got 3 good kids.
Successful kids.
Well, successful. It's yes, Eli is successful.
Yeah.
Hayden is working on his successful. Jack's just starting out.
Sure.
But I know that I have 3 good kids that are moral. Their moral compass is correct.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way, because they all could have just checked out at 14 and worked somewhere, and not done anything, not been competent enough to go live in a New York City, where coming from Fairview to New York is night and day.
Yeah, there's like,
we're going into the military.
There's like movies made about that kind of
Totally.
stuff, like Son-in-Law, for example.
That's a great point. I mean, the way I parent my girls versus you parent boys is totally different. But if it was all the same way, this world would be boring.
Yeah,
it would be like the Truman Show.
Yeah, that's right. I just think that, I've never been really hard on the kids except when they were really young.
Sure.
And I think that kind of set the precedent for like how they are now, because I mean, I'm not saying that like hard on them and just beating them and doing all this stuff, but like they knew not to mess with me back then.
Yeah.
And I will say that I probably was on edge a lot of the time because, like I mentioned a minute ago, making $13 an hour.
Sure.
Trying to support a family of 5. And I remember, I was telling Jack this earlier, that I remember laying in bed and hearing the rain outside. In the landscape industry, folks, if it rains,
you
ain't working.
Yeah.
And so I'd be laying in bed, please don't get the call. Please don't get the call that we're called out. And then I get the call that we're called out.
I think this is a father's perspective, right? I don't think anyone can fully understand the stress that men go through.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad that you say that, because it also upsets me that that's not to downplay like the things that women are having to deal with too.
Right.
Or anybody of different race or religion or anything like that. But I get really tired of like a middle-class white man is just the gum on everybody's shoe.
Right. I agree.
And it's very disappointing, because we're people too. It's like we get shit on more than any other person.
Right. And just society has you thinking that the man has to the man has in the relationship has to be the provider. I mean, not anymore.
No, I don't believe that at all. I'm all 100% for. I mean, Nikki's doing school now to be a neuroscientist or some shit.
That's amazing.
It's like, hey, I'd be more than happy for her to be the breadwinner. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that.
No.
It's just
raising daughters is the same way. You don't want them to feel like they can't do anything they can put their mind to.
Yeah.
It's nobody can explain when you've lost a job and having to navigate that. I've got a friend that's going through that right now with older kids, and I can't imagine the stress that he's going through. And nobody can really truly understand the pressure maybe that is put on men to have to be successful or provide or take on, certain things in a relationship.
I want to make sure that people understand that like there's a situation like a single mother or something is a different type of situation. Correct. And they're dealing with those things along with everything else. But us speaking to being a man, being the breadwinner of the family. So you got all the people in your family are like looking to you.
Right.
To make sure that everything's taken care of.
Exactly right. And then I know, Kate keeps her up at night worrying about the school and worrying about the family and stuff like that. And I wake up worrying about work and worrying about the family and, paying tuitions and all this stuff. But maybe it's just me. I don't know how you can effectively communicate it to someone and them truly understand.
It's funny because last night I was sitting in my chair. Hayden came home he's doing an internship thing, and me and Nikki told everybody. We said, "Hey, everybody, you're on your own for food tonight," because I wasn't cooking anything. And so, a couple hours later, Hayden comes home and he's like this, like walking through the house with like 3 bags of like Hardee's foods, and I'm like, I'm like watching him, and I'm just like, well, Nikki did tell them that they're on their own. Yeah. I was like, that's fine. So I get to work this morning, and I'm like going through my bank account. It's like $35 off of my card.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but I won't say anything to him. But this is my passive aggressive way of telling him that I noticed.
Listen to this one, Hayden. You're gonna love this. Fake.
This is my passive aggressive way.
It's funny you say that because I thought you were gonna go a different direction. I just said this to the girls that, same way. Week after a vacation or a holiday is chaos in our house. We didn't go grocery shopping. We're kind of just scavenging for what's for dinner. And I guess it was maybe Tuesday. I called the girls coming home. I'm like, hey, what do y'all want to do for dinner? And Jane's like, well, we already ate.
Yeah.
I'm like, isn't that convenient? I said, did you get me anything?
Did she?
No. She's like, no, I just got something for me and Maggie. I said, do I ever go out and just not get you something when we go out to eat? Or ask you? And she's like, Dad. I'm like, why not think of your mom and I?
No, nothing. It's because they hate you.
They do hate me. I don't think it's maliciously hate, but it's just like, again, as a parent, that's the stuff you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Are your kids eating?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when they're kind of more self-sufficient, why can't they
help me out?
Text me and say, hey, what type of burrito do you want?
I know.
They'll
get to that point. It was a turning point for me was literally when I got that Fairy Social sign from Eli in the mail.
Yeah.
Like they got me a gift.
Yeah.
It was like, cause usually, as the parent, you're the one like providing, paying for everything.
Yeah.
Going to the store to get all the graduation stuff and
right. Taking extra time to make pizzas so it's not.
Yeah. Everyone's fed.
Yes.
And then everybody hates us.
Yeah. Did anybody say thank you?
No.
For your pizzas?
I feel bad because I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about it too much, but I think that you brought up a good point that like being a father and all of this stuff and, having the weight of, you've been in the situation where you lost your job and you've got people and you're like, what am I going to do?
How am I going to make my mortgage payment?
Yeah.
Or how am I going to pay this? What if I can't take my kids on a little vacation when their friends are going? I mean, it's a big stress. I personally still, to this day, even though I'm pretty successful and good at what I do, worry about losing my job.
Yeah, no, I do too. Every day, we always talk about it.
Every day.
It's funny because I know that you're never going to lose your job.
Well, I mean, I don't know that, but I mean, maybe it helps us to kind of drive to be who we are at our work.
Yeah,
and maybe that fear kind of is what makes us good at what we do, because we're both pretty good at what we do, and a lot of people rely on us for more than what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, you'll hear it on the podcast that I did with Kimmy and Caitlin and all them, just talking about like, I've played it safe all of these years because my dad has drilled into my head to play it safe, and that is okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes in a situation like this, it's like I'm always worried because I'm trying to play it safe. Yeah. And I wish that I was more bold like Hayden, where he'd just go to New York and do all that. I would never do that.
No, and maybe that we're getting to a point where maybe we did take some risks. Kate and I have been talking about it. I mean, we've got some equity in our house. Maybe she's got the school and there's a lot that's tied to that. But, I mean, why not sell the house?
Yeah.
Buy something small at Smith Lake and, like we talked about in the first podcast, have a little convenience store.
Have your convenience store.
Why not?
While you're working on being a weatherman.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Out there with your pencil and your pocket knife hunting bears.
We feel like, maybe it's me, we feel like we have to live up to this status. But do we?
Well, that's the thing is if you strip everything away, strip your house away and all the things that you have, all the things in your life that you have, it's like, you're still gonna be alive,
right?
it's like in the Bible, it's like, it talks about like, consider the ravens. It's like the birds are out there, they're fed and they're taken care of. They're doing all it's like, it's the same for us. We have just piled this idea, this culture that we have to have this status or do, whatever things. It's like, we really don't.
No, we don't.
It's like,
you don't have to go on this trip. You don't have to go to Rosemary Beach for a trip. You don't have to drive this car. You don't have to, live in a big house. I mean,
even when you strip even all that away, it's like money. What is money?
Right.
It's just what we've decided.
That's right.
Is how we
can't take it with us as long as we're healthy. Our kids are healthy, and soon their kids are healthy. Then, I mean, what else?
I thought many times over the years of just blowing up my life. I like my job, and I don't have any intentions of quitting. But like early on, it's like, I don't want to do this particular thing that I'm doing here. Maybe I need to just blow up my life and do it. Well, it's not just blowing up my life; it's blowing up 4 other people's life, and so you just kind of get stuck. That's why, as a father and the breadwinner or whatever you want to call it, it's like that's why you get so stagnant. A lot of guys get into drinking all the time and sitting in your chair watching TV because you just get depressed.
Exactly right. You know who's really good of thinking about what next or what else could I be doing is Daniel's really good about, hey, what if I tried this?
Yeah.
But again, it's like we all hit a wall.
We just don't do it. We
just don't do it.
We don't act on the idea.
Yeah.
And then you get mad when you're watching TV because you're not doing anything with your life, and you see someone else act on your idea.
Exactly right.
I mean,
well, that can be tied all the way back to our ankle issues and getting ourselves healthier so we can go on bike rides, go on walks, do things that aren't, where we're just sitting around.
Yeah.
Even just walking, to your truck to go to work. I mean, not having in the back of your mind this pain, but, I just told Rex, the guy, I said, it took me getting so fed up with how I felt to go see him.
Yeah.
And now 3 months later, I've got a lot more mobility, and feel a little bit better about myself because I went out and finally did something about it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, why do we always have to hit this wall and not do something instead of taking the chance and doing it?
Yeah, I mean, even for me, this is really bad. I feel really dumb even saying this, but like just going outside and walking around the block, walking out in the woods in the nature and seeing that kind of stuff because we're so enslaved to like all of this stuff.
Right.
Like not just phones, and yes, there's that conversation about social media and all that kind of thing, which it is. It's very addictive.
It's very addictive.
It's like, what am I doing? Oh, I'm just doing,
It's a release.
People doing it, but like
mindless checkout.
It's like, just go take a walk.
Right.
And it's like every time I've ever just gotten to that point, I go and do it, and I feel better.
Yeah. But
then you go back to not doing it. It's the same like when you lose weight, you feel fantastic. But then you always go back into
exactly. Like, you go out to a restaurant, you have a little too many margaritas or too many bags, handfuls of chips, or it rains and you can't go for the walk. But I mean, it's really just an excuse.
Yes, that's exactly right.
It's really just an excuse, and that's what's kind of the life we kind of live in right now.
But you get depressed too, like being oh, my kids don't appreciate me. I got to pay these bills, and oh, this car repairs come up, and you just drive yourself into this depression. And I think that it's not recognized enough because as we should focus on the people that are struggling more than we are, maybe financially or something. Right. But all the work that I ever did in Haiti or Mexico and all that, it's like you have this thought process of when you go to these developing countries that these people are just like you see on the TV, is like in the arms. But then you go over there and they have absolutely nothing.
Right.
But they got more joy than any of us could ever have. Yeah. They have nothing. They're like scraping just to find something to eat. Yeah. But that does not define who they are.
Because they appreciate when they get that. We don't appreciate. I mean, we go out to eat too much, and I remember growing up, it was like an adventure, or it was a treat.
Yeah.
To go out. Now it's like, well, where are we going to go? It ends up being an argument.
You're right.
And I'm like, well, we don't appreciate the fact that we're going to go out and spend $100 on
I know
on a bad taco or something or a burger or whatever it is, because we're just it's like that's what we do.
I would always get off the plane from coming back from one of those countries, and it's like that's usually let's go get something to eat. But then I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, for us, you guys probably do the same thing. You go to the grocery store and get groceries for a few days or a week or whatever. It's like these people don't have refrigerators or anything.
Exactly right.
They're living in a hut and they're just finding food for one day. They're just like, we're going to figure it out today.
That's right.
Today is today.
That's right. Last night I had pulled out chicken. I was going to make grilled chicken and I just got tired. I'm like, oh, let's just order Las Palmas.
I know, we did the same thing.
So hopefully I'll go make grilled chicken tonight, but I probably won't. I'll probably go order something out.
I don't feel like cooking. Let's get something.
It's a lazy excuse.
You go to McDonald's now and you're spending for two people $30.
Well, it's like what Daniel said. I mean, he spent $10 on a quarter pounder meal.
Hell, $10 for a quarter pounder meal sounds like a steal to me.
It's a deal.
I mean, I go to Jersey Mike's every day and I get a sub, and it's like I get the special because it's like 11 or 12 bucks.
$12. That's right.
It's like, if you were to get something that was not the special, you're spending nearly $20.
I know.
It's just expensive.
It's nuts.
And then when I think of that, I think of 18 years ago, me first starting at LSI, laying in that bed, looking at the ceiling, hoping I don't get rained out of work. And then I think about presently, I just spent $30 at Hardee's.
Or you have
for not even me.
No, right, exactly right. You have the means that you can celebrate and have comical time about $30 to cars, but we work hard enough. It is not negative as trying to sound, but we should be more kind of proud of ourselves because we've put ourselves in this position, because we worry about certain things. We work hard because we don't want to let certain people down. Yeah. And we don't appreciate the rewards that we have. Yeah. My biggest thing is I can tell you to a person that I can't be in the moment to have joy of what I'm going through. Yeah. On a trip, I'm always worrying about something else or wanting to do something. I just can't just like relax.
Yeah, no,
and it's something in your brain that just kind of puts you in that situation.
It's funny. I can already see the comments of people saying, two middle-class white guys sitting there complaining about how bad their lives are.
But I had to deliver papers when I was 10. My dad said, "You want to make some money?" Yeah. I was delivering papers in the snow, pulling them with a sled when it snowed just to make some money. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been working for 39 years, right? So maybe we take a risk and do something. Not that I want to, because I do genuinely enjoy what we do and who we get to work with. But when do we get to appreciate the hard work that we've put in? Because you never know. I mean, you guys have lived it with your dad passing and your brother passing, and you never know.
Yeah, we're never gonna get to enjoy it.
No,
mainly because I won't allow myself to.
Exactly right.
You got me choked up. I'm sorry.
I know, but that's why again I'm proud of you for doing this podcast, because it's a creative outlet for you to kind of express yourself. I get a kick out of it because it's something fun and enjoyable to listen to. There's topics brought up that resonate.
That's good. That's what I want. I mean, it's just real stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Just life stuff. Well, I guess I do want to correct you. It is a pod, not a
I'm sorry.
Podcast. I think I mentioned that in 18
I try to be better about that. I try to put pod. I think I put pod this morning when I texted about the pod.
You did. Yeah. I think you did. So it is acceptable.
Yeah.
But we will wrap it up for, what is this, your fourth time?
This is 4. I just cannot let Joseph, if Joseph comes back on, then I need to come back on the next week.
That's fine. I would have you on every week. I would have you on every week if you could.
I would like to do one with Caitlin. I told Caitlin and she and I should come do one.
You should. We just got to get Joseph to quit being unruly.
Yeah. And stop using the C word.
See you, man.